First Amendment. The First Amendment safeguards essential freedoms for individuals. It ensures the right to speak freely, practice any religion or not at all, report news, peacefully assemble and petition the government for change without fear for punishment. This forms the bedrock of democracy and personal liberty. For example, John can openly criticize the government without fear for retribution, and Sarah can peacefully protest for environmental conservation. Second Amendment. The Second Amendment protects the right to own and carry firearms. It allows individuals to possess weapons for personal safety, defense, and recreational purposes. This right is rooted in the idea of self-defense and the collective security of a free society. For example, Tom can legally own a gun for protecting his home, and Emily can go hunting with her family. Third Amendment. The Third Amendment prohibits the government from forcing citizens to quarter soldiers in their homes during times of peace without consent. This protects privacy and property rights, stemming from historical grievances during colonial times under British rule. For example, Mark cannot be compelled to house soldiers in his home against his will, ensuring his privacy and autonomy. The Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment shields individuals from unreasonable searches and seizures by law enforcement. It mandates that authorities must obtain a warrant based on probable cause before conducting such actions. This ensures privacy and security in personal property while balancing individuals' rights and law enforcement needs. For example, Sarah's belongings cannot be searched without a warrant, safeguarding her privacy and property rights. The Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment offers protections in legal proceedings. It includes the right to remain silent to avoid self-incrimination, guarantees due process of law, prohibits double jeopardy, and ensures fair compensation for the government's taking of private property for public use. These safeguards protect personal liberty and property rights in court. For example, Jack cannot be tried twice for the same crime, and Lily has the right to remain silent during questioning. The Sixth Amendment. The Sixth Amendment guarantees the right to a fair and speedy trial. It ensures defendants have the right to know the charges against them, confront their accusers, obtain witnesses in their defense, and have legal representation. This cornerstone of the justice system guarantees a fair legal process for criminal defendants. For example, David has the right to an attorney, even if he cannot afford one, and Emma can confront witnesses who testify against her. The Seventh Amendment. The Seventh Amendment guarantees the right to a jury trial in civil cases involving disputes over property or money. This preserves the role of juries in legal system, reflecting the historical significance of jury trials in safeguarding individual rights against arbitrary government actions. For example, Lisa has the right to a jury trial in her lawsuit over property ownership, ensuring her case is heard by peers. The Eighth Amendment. The Eighth Amendment prevents unfair punishment by prohibiting excessive bail, fines, and cruel or unusual treatment. It ensures that penalties fit the crime, reflecting our society's values of fairness and justice. For example, this is Sarah, arrested for a minor offense. She cannot be fined an unreasonable amount, ensuring fairness in the justice system. The Ninth Amendment. The Ninth Amendment protects rights not explicitly listed in the Constitution. It recognizes that individuals have more freedoms than those specifically mentioned, safeguarding a broad range of personal liberties. For example, Tom has the right to privacy even though it's not explicitly stated in the Constitution, preserving his personal freedom. The Tenth Amendment. The Tenth Amendment limits federal power by reserving certain powers to the states or the people. It reinforces federalism, protecting state sovereignty and individual freedom from excessive government control. For example, Lisa's state has the authority to regulate education, as it's not a power granted to the federal government, ensuring local control over schooling. The 11th Amendment. The 11th Amendment restricts individuals from suing states in federal court without their consent. It safeguards state sovereignty and maintains a balance of power between state and federal government. The 12th Amendment. The 12th Amendment alters the process for electing the president and vice president, ensuring they are chosen separately. This change prevents confusion and promotes a clearer, more efficient presidential election process. The 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment abolishes slavery. The 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment grants citizenship to all individuals born or naturalized in the U.S., ensuring equal protection under the law and extending civil liberties. It played a crucial role in advancing the civil rights by defining citizenship and guaranteeing legal protections for all, including former slaves. The 15th Amendment. The 15th Amendment prevents discrimination in voting based on race, color, or past servitude, advancing civil rights by granting all men the right to vote regardless of their race. So voting rights for everyone remains crucial, especially during election years. For example, Sarah, an African American, can vote in elections just like John. The 16th Amendment. The 16th Amendment allows the federal government to collect income taxes without distributing them among states based on population. 17th Amendment. The 17th Amendment introduces the direct election of U.S. senators by state voters, enhancing democratic government by making senators more accountable to the people they represent. 18th Amendment. The 18th Amendment initiates prohibition, prohibiting the manufacture, sale, and transportation of alcohol. 19th Amendment. The 19th Amendment grants women the right to vote in the fight for gender equality. It recognizes women's suffrage as a fundamental democratic right. The 20th Amendment. The 20th Amendment changes the start dates for presidential, vice presidential, and congressional terms, aiming to smoothen transitions of power and avoid periods with elected officials whose successors are already known. 21st Amendment. The 21st Amendment repeals prohibition, allowing states to regulate alcohol. It acknowledges the failure of prohibition and the necessity of a more practical approach to alcohol regulation. 22nd Amendment. The 22nd Amendment limits the presidency to 2 terms, preventing indefinite re-election. It responds to FDR's 4-term presidency, ensuring periodic leadership renewal. 23rd Amendment. The 23rd Amendment gives residents of Washington, D.C. the right to vote in presidential elections. 24th Amendment. The 24th Amendment abolishes poll taxes in federal elections, removing a barrier to voting for low-income individuals. For example, Tom, who couldn't afford to pay a poll tax, can now vote without any financial obstacle, ensuring equal access to the ballot box. 25th Amendment. When the president is unable to fulfill their duties, the vice president steps in, ensuring continuity of leadership and stability in government. 26th Amendment. The 26th Amendment lowers the voting age from 21 to 18. For example, Emily at 18 can now vote in elections just like her older siblings, acknowledging her adulthood and civic duty. And finally, at last, 27th Amendment. The 27th Amendment delays changes to congressional pay until after the next election. For example, Jack, a member of Congress, cannot increase his own pay during his current term, ensuring that decisions about salary changes are made with the public interest in mind. Thank you for watching. I'll be making videos like this. If you like, please subscribe and like the video. Thank you.